Get back over to our hangar. Alright, so simple plane using all the simple parts you've got. I can show you how to stop them drifting. Like for example, this plane, fantastic little plane, love this plane. No jets, no rockets, no anything else, it's just a plane, nothing but a plane. If you want to stop it drifting on the runway, make sure your rear wheels are wide enough apart, going straight up and down, that is the key. And I can hit this up full throttle. I'll hold my hands out in front, I'll just change the camera, and that'll go straight down the runway. And keep going straight because it is such a beautiful plane. Just flip it around wherever you need to go. Alright, so to make a simple plane with the parts you have that'll fly nicely, grab your Mark 1 cockpit, grab structural fuselage, some jet fuel, basic jet, another structural fuselage, well these will be the first parts you get for a plane. So swept wings, let's see when you actually get the swept wings. Can't on this one. Alright. We'll grab a career mode. It's all in the balance, it really is. Alright, so the first aerodynamics won't give it to you. So I don't know how many research points it is to unlock that, but that looks like that's the first time you can make planes anyway when you research the aerodynamics. So using those parts, oh okay, Well, excellent. Well, you'll be able to do this then. So the reason why we're not putting fuel all the way along the body is because you don't need it. It's too heavy and it unbalances your plane. I prefer using one jet instead of two because they're just more even. I use the angle snap. If you want to make your plane more stable, you can tilt the wings up like that. But the most important thing is the balance of it all. Really, you're going to want your center of lift slightly behind your center of mass, because when the fuel runs out, your center of mass will change. However, on this particular plane, all the fuel's at the back. So the center of mass is actually going to use forwards. Right, we can use different canyons. You'll have the standard canyons. Throw some wheels on him. Make sure your wheels are straight. Because the wings are tilted, those rear wheels are going to be much lower, but should still be okay. And if it's not, you just change them slightly. Control surfaces, yes. Probably should have added control surfaces. And an air intake. Alright, control surfaces, you reckon? See how it does without control surfaces. Oh, I need to put the canyons back on there. Alright, one sec. Supersonic? Definitely. I can make a plane go so fast it'll get an orbit inside the atmosphere. Apparently the game just crashed. That's right, only take a second to reload. Let me just knock up a basic plane for RAG quickly, and then I'll show you how to do a plane that can actually create an orbit inside the atmosphere. I'll be using slightly more advanced parts though, all stock parts, but they're not the first ones you unlock. So what is the speed of sound? It's not actually that quick, is it? I wonder if I could Google that quickly while we're loading. The speed of sound is only 340 meters a second. Which actually makes supersonic very easy. Alright, so where did we get to before the game crashed? One of those. One of those. Two of those. One of those. One of those. And two of those. So because it's such a small plane, you'll actually get a lot of steering just from the reaction wheels in the cockpit. I'll put a rocket engine on there. That'd be right, wouldn't it? Well, it used to. It doesn't anymore. If you Google Mach 10, which is, what did we say, 340 meters a second is Mach 1, so Mach 10, 3,000 meters a second. The Americans are working on building a troop deployment plane that can get anywhere in the world within half an hour, basically as an alternative to using missiles. Trouble is, it goes so fast they keep losing control of it. just can't get that where I want it. There we go, that'll do. Alright, so when we run out of fuel, the balance is going to shift way out of kilter. So we're going to have to move these up. Let's see how that does. Let's see, Guinness airspeed record. Yeah, because it's a military plane, they'd probably dare to get Guinness round to check it out. The page isn't loading for some reason. That's right, I'll take your word for it. Let's get back to this one. So, very simple plane, thrown together very quickly. Takes off all by itself. Now, how well does it fly? Mind you, whoa! This isn't without any control surfaces on the rudder or the wings. Because it's only using the front canyons, it's going to be very touchy. Very, very touchy. Extremely touchy. But because of the way we got it set up, it flips immediately back to pointing straight ahead. Don't know if we're going to make the end of this runway though. Ah! Brakes, brakes, brakes. Brakes. There we go. Alright, so that's a plane without any control surfaces. Well, it's got the canyons, but that's all it's got. And small planes, you don't really need too much. If we add control surfaces, we probably have number 1. You know, I'm actually going to get rid of these canyons now, and we'll just put on just standard winglets, which won't actually move. They'll give us stability, but they shouldn't flip us end over end. Cool tricks, you reckon? I don't know, I'm not much of a stunt pilot. The reason why this plane will take off all by itself, though, as you can see, because the rear wheels are lower, it's already angled up. So we just give it full power. Don't have to touch anything else, and it'll just take off and be happy. Pull the gear back now, and she's gone, she's out of there. As you can see, without the front canyards, much more stable. It's not flipping over on itself. It's not as maneuverable. It can't really flip over on itself, but it's a lot more flyable. We can just pull back, and it's not going to flip out at all. We could just do circles here like you'd expect on any flight simulator. That's just holding all the way back, and we're not losing any control at all. It's pulling back hard, and like with a normal flight simulator, it's just pulling around, but it's not flipping over and spinning out of control. As for cool tricks, I'm not really sure. You can do your barrel rolls and things. We'll try for a loop. I need to get a bit more height first. Fly around the world, I can do that. It'll take about 3 minutes on another one of my planes. See if that's high enough to pull it into a loop. But as you can see, like even pulling straight back, it's not flipping end over end. You've got fantastic control of the plane. And if you just want a stable plane that you can fly, this is what you want. So I hope that's been helpful for you, Rag. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right. A TIE fighter. I thought you wanted me to fly around the world.